Hi everyone, I'm Tracy Koga and welcome to Hue at Home. We are in another lockdown and new regulations, so rules have it that you can go play golf but only with a household member. So I went golfing with my husband this past weekend and thank him very much for putting up with me for 9 holes. But I really know that's not like golfing with your buddies. So we can all hang in for just one more week. There should be a light at the end of the tunnel. Today on Hue at Home, I'll sit down with recording artist Tania Joy, and not only is she doing great music, but she's also supporting her own community. But first, let's meet the CEO and president of the St Boniface Hospital Foundation and find out why 2021 is a big year. Hi Karen, welcome to Hue at Home, and well, it has been a while, I know, but still congratulations on now becoming the official CEO and president of the St Boniface Hospital Foundation. And wow, what an incredible year, and I say that honestly, despite what we're living in, to celebrate the hospital's 150th anniversary and the foundation's 50th anniversary. Wow. It would be nice if we could be all open and, be all together, but let's talk about this year, Karen, and the new, well, it's a new position, I guess, but not really for you.
That's right, Tracy, and thank you. I officially became the president and CEO just at the end of March. I have been acting in an interim role since September, so yeah, it wasn't exactly brand new to me, but certainly, I welcome the opportunity to lead the helm here at the foundation, moving into the future. And yeah, 2021 is a special year for both us and the hospital. The 150th anniversary of the hospital is a pretty big wow moment. We were the first hospital in Western Canada, so it's awesome to be able to recognize that this year. There'll be a lot more information coming out in the fall about that will be seen in the public, but at this point in time, it's also a bit disappointing that we're not able to gather. We had hoped that there would be some in-person celebrations and an opportunity to really mark the occasion, so we'll do the best that we can given the circumstances. But yeah, it's and of course, it's also difficult because it's a hard time here in the hospital right now.
Oh, yeah, it affects the foundation, your staff. You can't, everybody's working from home. And then, yes, of course, the hospital itself. Never before did we ever dream that this would be happening. For you, Karen, I guess, what are some of the more important things now as you look at yourself as the foundation, the biggest fundraiser for the hospital? How is that going to change?
So I think right now, this past year has been incredible in the sense of so many people from the public reaching out to make donations to support frontline healthcare workers. That's just amazing, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're so thrilled that people saw the hospital and other hospitals across Manitoba as being, one of the most important causes that they could support during this past year. Moving forward into the future, there are going to be lots of great opportunities to continue to support the hospital. We're going to have the redevelopment of our emergency department moving forward very soon, and looking towards getting that completed over the next few years. So that's very exciting. The size of the space is going to be tripling. We're going to have the capacity to see that many more patients on a regular basis. And of course, we're always happy that donors choose to support the cardiovascular program here at the hospital. We are the Cardiac Center of Manitoba. That is, where the bulk of our patient visits come from every year. And, we're always happy to support purchases of new equipment and to help the programs over there with the support of donors.
And do you think the foundations, and not only the St. Boniface Hospital Foundation, but the other foundations there, that really community is so important? As we've seen it, you've spoke about Good Samaritans stepping up and supporting the hospital staff and whatnot. Also to donors, and you have a long-lasting relationship with some wonderful donors that have been with you for years and years and years. How, Karen, are we going to rejuvenate that too, right? As you go forward and look for new donors and to still have that same compassion for the hospital.
Yeah, I mean, I think St. Boniface Hospital, as you say, has a long history of compassionate patient care, of hope and healing in our community. And I think, we've been very fortunate that the staff of the hospital have continued to carry on that legacy of the Grey Nuns who started St. Boniface Hospital. I think moving forward, I think we continue to work with hospital staff to ensure that compassionate care continues to be supported. We're very lucky. We hear from donors all the time who are coming forward to tell us how grateful they are for the care that they received here at the hospital, telling us, sharing their stories with us, telling us about the experiences they had. And really, it all boils down to staff, right? It's, the care and compassion that they show to patients is just phenomenal. And I think that's the culture of the hospital. And we're here to support that in any way that we can. We also see it in the donations that come in our door continuously throughout the past year in support of the healthcare workers' donations of food, right, and comfort items that people are able to offer. We've had coffee and donuts donated repeatedly, meals from various restaurants around town. We even had a donation of chocolates for staff in one of the ICU units the other day. It's just little things like that, people are taking the time to say thank you to those healthcare workers and thank you for the care that you've shown to us in the past.
Oh, I know, and it's been so long now that we've been in this, and you tend to forget. The momentum was so strong in the beginning, and we really want to say thank you again to all of the frontline workers and the healthcare workers. And for me personally, I was born there at St. Boniface. My two boys were born at St. Boniface Hospital, so the staff there is truly amazing. And I just want to say too, my mother spent her last 2 weeks in your palliative care, and my heart and love go out to all the staff on that floor. They are truly amazing, and I know that any hospital has that too as well. But definitely compassion and empathy and respect, as well as great medical care. So, we know this is going to continue, but I guess we hear everything and we see everything now. No one expected a pandemic. I want to talk more about the foundation now, Karen, and raising money. And we all know the big galas and the big events that you're famous for, and all these other organizations. What kind of ideas? And I know it's happened. We do virtual, but moving out post-pandemic, what are you planning?
Well, I think, continuing the events that we are currently running, right? We have an annual radiothon that presented by the Vicar Auto Group happens every November. A couple of years ago, we worked with some volunteers from the hospital, some staff to start a new event called Run to Believe. So we're really encouraging all Manitobans to participate in that. Last year, again, we made it virtual, just like everybody else, and we were thrilled to see that it expanded beyond the running community to include people who were also walking and cycling. I think I have one staff member this year that's probably going to roller skate, to raise funds for the hospital. Roller skating's making a big comeback, apparently.
You drag them out of the closet.
Exactly. So it's really exciting to see how many people want to participate in that way to help raise money for the hospital. We also, a couple of years ago, I guess it was in fall of 2019, started a new event called Rose Soiree, which was a gala type event, a cocktail party format. We were very fortunate at that time to be able to hold it in the ruins of St. Boniface Cathedral. It was an absolutely stunning setting. It was just a magical evening, all in support of cardiac care here at St. Boniface Hospital. Last year, we were able to do the event virtually, which we were very grateful for. I think we were one of the first virtual galas in Manitoba, and again, it was very successful. And so we hope to continue that event in person at some point in the future. it would be really great to see people again and to continue to build on that event and expand it.
Oh, most definitely, and I think we all look forward to that day. For you personally, Karen, what are some of the things that you would like to work on and make a difference, not only with the foundation, but also with the hospital and the community?
So, I mean, I think it's really important for us to continue to support the funding priorities of the hospital, to work
Mm-hmm.
with the hospital leadership to identify where are the gaps, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all know that government pays for all the basic healthcare needs that we have, but if there are gaps that our donors can help to fill just to make patient care just a little bit better, just bring it a little bit higher to that mark of excellence, that's what we're here to do. We're also really happy to be able to support research, right? Medical
Oh,
research
yes.
in our community. We're the home of the Albrechtsen Research Center, and that research center alone is phenomenal. Like the amount
Mm-hmm.
of research that that core group of people put out every year is amazing. We have 10 researchers over there that have been recognized as part of by Stanford University as part of the top 2% of researchers in the world. So you think about, what they're doing, and what they're doing helps to change the face of patient care, right? And because they're here at St. Boniface, quite often we can see the results of that medical research translating directly into patient care within, just within a few short years of them, being able to make new discoveries and create new innovations. So we're very fortunate.
You certainly are, and you need to let the whole world know about this. I mean, this is truly amazing,
Absolutely.
and it would be kind of, I think, very interesting and cool to have that connection, to be able to maybe talk to one of these top researchers, to make them, do that kind of interaction that I think the community really would appreciate, especially now as we move forward. I think we've all been involved now in healthcare and, getting vaccinations and, through social media. We think we're the experts, but we really aren't. But I think more importantly, to know we have these incredible geniuses in our own backyard and to celebrate. So,
Yes, exactly. Well, this year we actually were able to bring back the health report. So we used to run the show
mhm.
on a local radio station. This year we've brought it back in a virtual format. So it is giving us that opportunity to, for researchers to present information to the community, to provide expertise on different topics. A few weeks ago we had Dr. John Dukas, a cardiologist here at St. Boniface, talking about the importance of calling 911 if you think you're experiencing a heart attack, right? It seems like such a simple thing to do, but when people are in that moment, quite often that's not the first thing that comes into their mind, right?
No,
And
that's
so, he's really trying to emphasize to the public how important it is because time is muscle when it comes to heart attacks. Having a cardiac arrest actually damages your heart beyond repair, right? Like once heart muscles die, or sorry, once heart cells die during a heart attack, they never come back.
okay.
So, it's super important to get to the hospital as quickly as possible if you think you're experiencing a cardiac event. Even if it turns out to not be one or to be just a minor event, it's still really important to seek that care as quickly as possible.
Oh, well, and I guess to wrap things up, Karen, you've been at this job since March, but you know so much about it. You've been involved with the foundation for so many years. The best part of your job?
I think the absolute best part is being able to see donors make a difference in the hospital and in healthcare in our community. It absolutely is heartwarming to be able to see people make a difference with the funding that they're able to provide at all levels of giving.
Oh,
Absolutely.
well, everybody, please continue to support the St. Boniface Hospital and the foundation. Happy birthday, happy anniversary, 50 years.
Thank you.
Oh, and it's been so wonderful to chat with you. And please, let's keep the conversation going because we want to help you celebrate when we can all get back together in the fall, hopefully.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Tracy.
Girl, you know what's up. Ooh, say what, say what, say what. Girl, you know what's up. Ooh, say what, say what, say what. So tell me what's up. Tell me what's up. I'm feeling you. I'm feeling you. And you know what's up. Say I'm feeling you. And I'm holding you. So tell me what's up. Tell me what's up. You know what's up. Ooh, say what, say what, say what. You know what's up.
Well, it is always great to, really promote some beautiful music that's happening around us in this pandemic and lockdown and isolation. And Tania Joy, joy is definitely the word. Because I have to tell you, the song, and then I watched the video and I sang, oh, this is what we need. It's something a little different, maybe it's a little bit more sensual. It just, instead of this upbeat poppy music. I love the song Blink. And I really wanted to spend some time, get to know you and share your music with everybody else. And like everybody else, we were talking about in a lockdown. You're in Ontario and Uxbridge, and I guess as a writer and being a musician, you've been doing a lot of, I guess, songwriting and creating music.
That's right, for sure. The first part of the pandemic was a little quiet, trying to get used to the rhythm of things. But I was able to channel some creative energy, and I've been writing a lot and learning some new things, new skill sets to do performances at home, and releasing some music.
Oh, okay. So, and your backstory is, wasn't like you grew up in music, but then, I guess you call yourself a late bloomer, so to speak, and
Yeah.
producing and doing your own writing. What was the moment, Tania, where you thought that I could actually do this?
Well, I'm not sure. I think that, I did come to music later in life, and I think that I was just dealing with life's ups and downs, and music had always been an attraction for me. So initially I just took it on as a hobby to just learn guitar and sing along with my guitar. And I think I realized quite quickly, because I do have a creative background, that this was another avenue that I could use to tell my stories. And in that particular instance, it was the right time, so music kind of came to me when I needed it the most. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And your profession, a creative designer, interior designer, or something like that, I
It's
think?
a graphic designer, yes. Graphic
Wow.
design.
So
Yeah,
hey, then you don't have to worry about any of your graphic designs for your
that it's
music.
very helpful.
Yes, because that was my
Indeed.
next, kind of question is the business of music.
Right.
And, being a female and being obviously a female of color, for you, Tania, what kind of, and if you did have challenges or maybe you didn't at all, into this where you were until where you are now as far as the business end, how has it been for you?
For music, I think I'm still at the beginning of my journey in my mind as an emerging artist. So I haven't come up against any unique challenges when it comes to music. I think there's always a few doors that you have to force open a little bit as a female in any industry. So, to kind of create, to stand in your own voice and be able to sing the subject about the subjects you want to sing about, and really position yourself as a strong creative being. I think that's always a challenge across many creative fields. So for now, that's sort of where I sit. I expect I sort of expect the challenge, because that's what life has always been about for me. So
Oh,
you
no
know.
doubt. Yes. And so now the album itself is looking at a fall release, but I love it that you have been releasing singles, and one in particular too, besides Blink, Planks and Marietta, that release, and you also gave all the proceeds to Black Lives Matter. So, maybe make the connection there, because again, Black Lives Matter has certainly been a huge movement for everybody.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, I struggled just like everyone with the challenges um, of systemic racism that, and as it came like prolific in the news stories, and last year with the death of George Floyd, I struggled trying to wrestle with what had happened in front of, the whole world. And then there was another incident that happened locally that, opened my eyes right in my neighborhood as well to, it's everywhere. It's not just, in other countries. And when that happened, again, I sat with that in a little despair, and eventually I was able to kind of connect the two things, the two incidents, and write a story about it, and write a song about it. And I released it for in February for Black History Month, and all of the proceeds from the downloads are being directed to Black Lives Matter. So it was great to just be able to even, just articulate my thoughts, and hopefully it just continues the conversation, and really challenges people to take a look at what they can do to change things.
And that's I guess, the hope too, like you just said, that the conversations continue, because we don't want them to stop. And we are creatures of habit, right? As soon as it's past our view, we're, tunneling forward onto the next thing, and we do forget. But even, we're for Blink and talking about, rising above, and finding the inner strength when you're at
right.
the lowest.
That's right.
I think that's really pretty another thing to think about. So the story behind Blink then.
Well, Blink is sort of, about how life can just change in an instant, how you can be blindsided, and every day things just switch it up for you. So in that particular instance, it's about a relationship, being blindsided by it ending, and having to reconcile all of the feelings and all of the things you thought to be true in that relationship. So yeah, it's a kind of a dark place to go, but in the end, it's always about rising, and finding that way out of the darkness.
And then now too, in this whole lockdown right now, of course, the future, what does that look like for you, Tania? As an artist, how are you going to get your music out? I guess, now everything is virtual, but then, you will be back at some point to performances, but then what will that look like?
It's hard to say how long it will take to get back to normal, performing in small venues with crowds, or larger venues with bigger crowds. So I think it's one day at a time. Every day I'm learning a new skill set to do this virtually. I also am involved in a music festival here in my hometown, and we're really excited to bring that platform for artists back to the community who's itching, for live music just like everybody else. So I think we have to be innovative. We have to be patient and hopeful.
So tell us more about this music festival. This is fantastic.
Well, our community started a music festival in 2018 to promote and create a platform for local artists, and then bring in new artists, so that we can introduce our community who loves music to the great Canadian talent that we have. So we've had it we put on two years of it, and then COVID sidelined it for a bit, but there's a lot of energy. It's all volunteer based, nonprofit festival, and it's just great for our community. It really brings out the best in everyone.
Well, and that's so good to hear, because, I mean, as much as it's been, I've already, met so many artists that are finding their own success through all of this, but there are so many other artists that are really struggling, whether it's financially or it's mental health, and something like this is so uplifting. It's
Yes.
truly amazing.
Yeah, so it's called Springtide Music Festival. We're online, and we are looking forward to bringing back those artists that have been on hiatus and waiting for the news of to come back. So we really are eager to support those artists again when things open up.
And if you kind of look back at yourself, Tania, and your personal journey through all of this and to where you are now, what things have you learned about yourself that have surprised you? And then, maybe some words of wisdom for other, women, girls out there
Yeah.
that maybe aspire to be in your shoes someday.
Right. Well, I would have to say that this journey wasn't an expected one. It's definitely come to me, later in life, as I said, and out of the blue, and it really something that has changed my life. And if I look back, 7 or 8 years ago, there's no way I would have imagined that I'm so involved in music in the community and releasing my own music and continuing down that path. I think that we have to believe in ourselves, and if we have that something that's inside that's kind of itching to come out, we really have to explore it, especially during these times when life is so different. Maybe that's something positive that's come out of this lockdown and these pandemic times, is a chance for introspection and really a second chance to try something new or something that we've been holding back. I would also say for women who are in this industry and others, I think it's great to try and find like-minded individuals, other women, championing them, and surround yourself with those who you see who are doing the things that you want to do in life, and really help celebrate them and see how you can join in and become involved in something that you're really passionate about.
Aw.
Yeah, I think it's an optimistic outlook. I love seeing how the women are all banding together right now and really celebrating each other.
Well, definitely. Well, congratulations to you, Tania. And we're going to premiere the video Blink right now on Hue at Home. I think a little Anita Baker in the voice. It truly is special. And the dancer, she was amazing too as well.
Yes, she was awesome. I thought she did a fabulous job. I was very pleased. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tania. Stay safe and healthy. And hopefully we'll see you performing.
Oh, I look forward to that so
yes.
much. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank
you. For having me.
I can't erase this memory of you, as if we could ever be two, as if sad was something so new. Blink, know the time won't soften the blow. The years keep taking their toll, and what was stolen will never grow old. In the blink of an eye I can change your life. In the blink of an eye I can change your life. Your life, your life, your life. Blink, I can't erase this memory of you.
Welcome back to Hue at Home. Coming up next, a very important clip from our Hue Virtual Chat with Elder Charlene Calder as she shows us ways to heal and that we can all move forward together. I want to say hello as Charlene. Welcome.
Hi, sorry.
That's
I was-
okay.
I was doing some stuff here and I'm like, I wonder how I'm going to get notified. So then I went on my phone and I looked up and there you guys were. So I'm sorry for that. Hello, good afternoon.
Oh, no, and thank you so much for joining us. We've just
you.
been talking a little bit, before the Kamloops residential school story. It was the Ethan Bear story and the horrible racism. And then now,
And
215.
before Ethan Bear, it was many other stories.
Many others. So Charlene, it's been terrible the last couple of weeks. And I think that we all have heavy hearts.
Very much so, yes.
So I
Our
think
city's in a slumber.
with your, I guess, knowledge and wisdom, Charlene, in the Indigenous culture, it is known that the elders and the knowledge keepers are the ones that people look up to. Where do the elders stand today, and why is it so important for you to really try and help not only the Indigenous community, but all of us find a way to heal?
Well, I first want to acknowledge where we are, that we are on Treaty 1 territory, the land of the Dene, the Ojibwe, the Cree, the Innu, the Métis, and I acknowledge that we're here, right here on Métis territory, right here. And I am a Métis woman. My name is Charlene, but my traditional name is Kigatuk Kinyukwe. And my father and the ancestors on that side are from York Factory Cree Landing. And so I acknowledge the elders today and the knowledge keepers and all of the people that, that may be watching. I acknowledge them. And I was listening to our friend Cynthia as I came on, as listening to her. And I've been, since I've been talking with you and with Clayton,
Mm-hmm.
I seeked some guidance from a knowledge keeper and a very important person in my life. And I mean, this talk has been going on forever.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't nothing new. That's the thing about it, is that it's not like this is something new that we're going to, oh, what do we do now? No, this is like years and years, thousands of years of racism. And you say, what do we do now? I've been on the earth, on Mother Earth, on this land for 55 years, and growing up and seeing the racism in my community. Back then it was very silent. It was very silent. You didn't really see, but today, because I believe, and in talking with some of the elders, and the elders are very sad. Right now is a very sad time for our people around the world, not just here in Winnipeg, not just in Kamloops, all over the world that are watching this. And it saddens my heart. It does sadden my heart. It hurts like a knife going through your body when you think about it. And then to see, the whole issue with Ethan. We are in 2021. we are in a generation where we have all this stuff and all this technology, and even those things are showing our kids, and that's where it starts. It starts in the home. It starts in the home. Babies aren't born racist. I mean, we see it all over Facebook. You see a brown baby with a white baby, and they're hugging and they're so happy to see each other. You see those videos on Facebook and all across that media, social media like that. And everybody's, oh, is that ever sweet? You know, you need to take action. Action is what's needed. Behaviors are what need to change. Cycles need to change. You know, and I can give you, you know, think about, just if you want to talk just about the Indigenous community, you know, you start coming from that history of residential school, and you think how that plays on a person's mental health, on their mental psyche. You know, you hear all these I mean, it's now in scientifical form, and it's only until it gets to that is when it's believed. It shouldn't have to get to that to know that these teachings, that this way of life, that these things that are happening are true and real. They happen. And that's what the society, the world has to know, is that this happened, folks, like right here in your backyard. You know, and now you've got a young man who is very good at hockey, and those guys coming from the north, they're all good at that's we created hockey. We created that. So I mean, he's going to be good at that. You know what I mean? And it just blows my mind to see that I got to watch this on my TV after watching the game. First, I'm going to cheer on Winnipeg because of but you know, and I'm so proud, you know, and to see the syllabics on his jersey, like for us, that's progress for us, folks. That's progress to see our kids going up. That's what we want. Everybody wants that for their children, no? Everybody wants to see their children succeed, their grandchildren. I want to see my grandchildren succeed. I hope I can see them get into hockey or get into something, you know, that their dreams that they want to follow in their life. And that's what, whether you're Black, Native, you know, Hindu, Asian, whatever you are, white, whatever you are, everyone wants that for their children and their children's children. I don't think that's, you know what I mean? So what do we do now after how many years that this has been talked about? You know, how many, I think back, I was thinking when, like I said, when you asked me to come on, I first, you know, I offer tobacco, and I always go to my ancestors and I pray upon it, because that's something we've lost. That's another thing that this whole world is losing, is that faith and that spirituality and checking in. You know, all those things are said in books and all those things are talked about, but rarely do we walk that road. You know, and even our helpers, our healers, you know. So now we have this young man who's a professional, and he's in this, you know, in sports. And sports is a really hard place to be at, you know, to begin with. It's competitive. You got to be on your game. You know, all of that, right? As individuals, but then you're in a team setting, right? And not one person does that team. There's no, what was that saying? There's no I in team, right? We hear that all the time in the workplace. There's no I in team, right? There's no I in team for sports either. So it wasn't Ethan's fault why they lost the game. It's because we are great. The Jets are great. No, just kidding. So yeah, I think that acknowledging, you know, look at in the school system, right? In the school system, we have all these anti-bullying, anti-racism, anti-this, anti-that. But again, nothing's going to change until people start to change, behaviors start to change, cycles start to drop. And I'm going to give you a story a little bit in regards to my own personal. My children are Cree and they're Ojibwe, and I raised them. You know, I hoped I raised them to be proud of who they are. So I'm going to share a couple of stories. So when my son was about 8 years old, he always, for Halloween, he always was a Dracula. Okay, every year, nothing different. Dracula, mom, no, Dracula, mom. Okay, are you sure you don't want to be this guy? No, Dracula. So Halloween, we start getting ready for Halloween. I start putting the white, smoothing the white like this on his face all over, smoothing it out, smoothing it out. And I said, okay, I said, you're good now. Let's start getting, he goes, wait, mom, wait, I want to see. And he runs into the bathroom and we're in the kitchen, and all of a sudden I hear him say, yay, I'm white. Yay, I'm white. And my heart just, whew, to hear my little 8-year-old say that.
We want to give a big thank you to all of our special guests on today's show and leave you with this question. Despite all the craziness and madness going on in the world, what are you most thankful for? We want to know, so send us an email to hello@ilikehue.com or message us on Facebook and Instagram at iLikeHue. But for now, stay safe and healthy, and we'll see you next time on Hue at Home.